I had for JP, because I heard about, and I agree that the very important is relationships, especially in teaching mathematics, and having that with your students and your teachers. But it's raised a lot of challenges with online education and having students keep the social distance and not engaging in that way. How have you managed yourself as a maths teacher in the classroom dealing with this issue?
Hello, Sean. Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. But I think it's easier if the relationships are formed before. You know, I think we were in a bit of a better position. You know, for you know, if you've been teaching the same students for a couple of years, those relationships are there then. And I can also say we've had a couple of students that just joined our school. There were 3 students that joined our school 3 days before the lockdown started in March. You know, and that's challenging then. You know, what do you have? You know, you don't know them. But yeah, I've phoned them. Yeah, you know, just talk to them. I've always thought they were quite good at technology. I've been amazed by it. You know, just you know, they love sending WhatsApps and whatever, but just you know, just phone them and say, listen, so you know, talk to me. You know, let's be honest. How's your learning going? So you know, with remote learning, I think that is one of the biggest challenges, and I think it needs to have real interactions. You know, not just going through the you know, just, you know, how's it going? Talk to me, be honest. Yeah, so that's my experience.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always a challenge, even when you got kids in the classroom to deal with that to work on the relationships. But now we've got to find new ways.
Hello, may I ask a question as well? It's Zurab Janalidze from Stellenbosch University. My question is directed to anyone who would like to answer, especially those who were either involved in teaching mathematics or learning mathematics during the lockdown. So my general feeling is, this is something that's very personal, of course, that I much prefer doing mathematics at home and also teaching mathematics from home. My question is the following. Those of you who have experienced either teaching or learning mathematics in this lockdown period, after these experiences, do you feel perhaps that having a week where from 9 to 5 o'clock you're outside your house in a working environment from Monday to Friday, that perhaps it would be better if the number of hours that you have to be outside your home would be a bit less than it usually is in the usual 5-day working week. And specifically, the question, what is in the background of the question is whether staying home has given you more time to contemplate on things at a deeper level than being in a routine environment would have allowed you to. Thank you.
Could I tackle this one? That is a very important question. In fact, ironically, I've just finished recording a TEDx talk that is going to be broadcast on the 8th of August about this particular issue. That, you know, are we looking at going back to how things were pre-COVID, or are we going to admit that there is merit in a hybrid, or perhaps even moving online? Some students are particularly well connected with the online and prefer it. I must admit, as a teacher, I get to not have to travel an hour to school in the morning. I get to teach, and then I can switch from one school to another instantaneously without having to get into a car and drive to the next school, because I teach at 20 or 30 schools during the week. And for me, I think this is the way forward. The other advantage is that I'm now looking at launching our program, not just for Cape Town, but around the world. So that means that from a teaching point of view, I think that it's far more productive. I think it's, some people saying, yeah, but do you really connect with the students? I have had zero problems connecting with students. If there's someone who's shy and wants to switch their webcam off, I have no problem with it, but I still have a relationship with them. I always join in the sessions a few minutes early to touch base with them, ask them how their week is. I make that connection. And I've actually found that the kids who've been joining our classes have been thriving. And we know this because they've all signed up for a second session. So that's been very positive from our side. So I have to agree with you. If I had a choice, I would be going fully online and only reserving the class visits for occasional visits or maybe workshops for teachers.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
I'm also a teacher. Can I come in? It's Jenny here. Okay, so I'm teaching at a school where we've been teaching online for the whole time. And we are now back partially. I'm at an independent school. And my experience is that with the kids in the top sets and the kids who find maths a natural subject, they thrive whether you're at home or at school. But with weaker students, they have really struggled at home, and they are so happy to be back in a school environment. They don't even want to look at a device or look at a laptop. So I think there are many advantages to bright kids being online because they can go at their own pace, they thrive, they ask their questions, they work independently, they don't need you as much as the weaker kids do. But from our feedback, our weak students are really struggling, and we have done absolutely everything. We have videoed, we have provided links for them, we've provided resources, we're on Teams every day teaching. They just want to be back in the classroom. They are not liking being on computer all the time.
Thank you, Jenny. That's very useful thing to note. Actually, my question wasn't about completely eliminating human contact. It was more about thinking of slightly decreasing it to what it currently has been before. But on the other hand, I'm also quite sympathetic to Steve's ideas of going fully online. But I do understand the importance for the weaker students for the physical interactions. And so my question was more about slightly decreasing it than fully eliminating it.
Hi, student here, Michelle. Can I come in?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in my experience, I have had a very mixed time with the online learning, but I do think that less kind of in-person time, where you're not following the timetable so rigidly, kind of allowed me to stop for a second and think about what I'm not getting, and kind of reflect on things, as opposed to just being so stuck in the timetable and the drill and how everything should go. And so I think it's particularly helpful to kind of have time where you can reflect away from what you're supposed to be doing at that specific time and kind of gauge where you are and see how you can move forward from that.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. I couldn't agree more with that. Thank you for that answer.
I think I would also like to come in and add that the experience that I had was that some of the students do not have stable internet connection, and it's very frustrating for them to constantly try and connect and re-engage with the lecture. And then a lot of them also do not have a conducive environment at home, so they can't just go somewhere and sit in silence and go through the lecture. So these are real challenges that I don't think we can overcome anytime soon.